graciejane.yoga@gmail.com. So that's me. And I'm on Instagram and all the things, so you can find me and follow me and we can connect. But we can begin as you wish. And it could be seated, it could be in child's pose. You might want to begin lying on your back. Whatever feels best for you. We want to take some time in the beginning of our practice to come into our bodies, because a lot of the times our attention is external, right? We're all over the place thinking about this and that and this person and that, and we're really disconnected from our bodies and kind of out of touch with how we feel physically and mentally and emotionally. So you might close your eyes wherever you are and just kind of feel around in your body. I notice if you're holding contraction in your jaw, this is normal, right? But it's unhealthy, so we're trying to change this normal. Relax the jaw. Right, relax your neck, relax into your shoulders, feel into your arms, feel into your hands, and feel into your core. So the front, the back, the sides, the inside of your core. And feel into your hips and your legs, maybe the knees or the soles of your feet even. And kind of in a way here, we're cultivating our mind-body connection so that we can move through our practice in a healthy way. But we're also just taking time to slow the brain down. As we feel into the body, the brain begins to slow down. And it takes practice, but it works. So begin to cultivate your breath by breathing in through your nose and breathing out through the nose. Because a lot of the times we don't breathe well. We're holding our breath in, tense in our bodies, not breathing, right? So we begin to inhale maybe a little bit deeper than what you might unconsciously do. And then exhaling nice and slowly. You want your exhale to be at least as long as your inhale, or maybe a little bit longer. And we don't want the exhale to be shorter. So breathe in through your nose, deep breaths in, breathing out through your nose, equal or slightly longer breaths out. You might count as you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe feel your body expand. As you exhale, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, feeling the body relax. And we'll just take maybe 2 more breaths where you are. Feeling the chest rise, maybe the belly expands as you inhale, and then just a nice smooth breath out with the exhales. And then from here, we'll begin to get into some movement. So you can come to your hands and knees, and we'll come into table. So we want to ground into your hands. Make sure that your wrists aren't turned outwards or inwards. This is important, even when you're doing push-ups and stuff. You want to have nice alignment in the bones, but knees under your hips, and we'll do some cat-cow breaths. So with the in-breath, we lift the head and tailbone, arching the spine. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, round the spine. And we'll do this a few more times. Inhaling, this might open up into the shoulders, the chest, the throat, the belly. And as you exhale, we round, open up to the back. Again, the hips, the shoulders. And maybe 3 or 4 more of these. And you might close your eyes as you're doing it. And this just directs more attention into the body, and you begin to feel more. Right? And this is healthy for the body, right, to be able to move in a healthy way, but also healthy for the brain. So the brain begins to slow down the mental processing, right? So maybe 1 more breath in through your nose and then out through the nose, equal or longer breath. And then we can make our way into a child's pose. So usually the big toes touch, the knees might come a little bit wider, and then we try to lower the forehead maybe to the ground, or it might feel better to bend your elbows, rest your head on your arms, okay? But notice how you feel here, right? There might be a stretch somewhere in your body. Your heart might feel your heart beating. And as you inhale, you might feel the sensation change. You might feel a stretch in your shoulder, into your back. As you exhale, maybe there's some contraction you can relax, right? Maybe the jaw, or maybe the hands, or maybe the heart space can relax, or the belly. And this is just part of our practice to release the contraction we carry around in our bodies. And it's a lot of wasted energy, right? So 1 more breath in your child's pose. And then we can come up into our tables again, lining the wrists so that the wrist creases are parallel to the top of the mat. And then we'll find our downward dog. So tuck the toes, lift the knees, and just take a few breaths here. You might bend one knee, press the opposite heel towards the ground, and then switch sides. And we call this pedaling the dog. You might like to lift both heels, lower both heels. Sometimes taking the hips side to side is nice. But be sure that you're relaxing your head down. So again, that contraction in the neck that we always have, we want to try to let that go, allow the head to drop. And then let's take 1 more breath in here, and then bring your feet to the top of the mat with your exhale. So standing forward fold. You want the feet to be about hip distance. And let's all find a ragdoll. So bend your knees a bit and cross your hands into your elbows. And we bend the knees simply to alleviate the stretch out of the hamstring. So It doesn't have to be like a chair. It's just to allow the stretch to not be so much in the hamstrings and then to move into the back more. So allow the head to drop, maybe the shoulders drop, and try to breathe. Maybe 2 more breaths in and then equal or longer breaths out. We'll just do 1 more breath here. And then you can allow the arms to just hang, and we want to roll up really slow and try to stretch into your lower back, try to stretch into your middle back, stretch into that space between your shoulder blades and into your neck. So keeping your chin tucked, and then just pausing at the top, and again, feeling into the space of the body, right? Feeling the tingling, maybe the heart beating, feel into the soles of the feet. Kind of want this lift up through the crown of the head, but ease back down through the muscles in a way. We'll do what we call a half salutation. So as you inhale, reach both arms up to the sky, and then forward fold as you exhale. We'll fold all the way down, and then lift up halfway as you breathe in. We want a flat back here, so we pull shoulder blades together, and then fold again as you exhale. And we'll come to stand. Inhale as you reach your arms up overhead a little, and then we'll bring the hands to the heart with the exhale. And then we'll repeat that. So as you breathe in, reach your arms up to the sky. Forward fold as you exhale all the way down. Halfway lift with your inhale. Fold again as you exhale. Inhale to stand, reaching your arms overhead, and then hands to your heart with your exhale. Good, and then pause here. You might close your eyes if it feels okay. Feel the heart beating, feel the sensations within the head, the shoulders, right, the legs, feel into the soles of your feet. And then as you inhale this time, we'll reach arms overhead. Forward fold with your exhale. We'll halfway lift with the in-breath and bring your hands down to the mat with your exhale. And we'll come into plank with the in-breath, and let's lower all the way down to the mat with the exhale. And then resting here, right, maybe a pillow with your hands, right, maybe a little swish of your hips side to side, maybe you swish your feet side to side. And we're just taking a moment with the front of the body resting into the mat. And then we'll do some shoulder stretches. So we'll take the right arm out to the side, shoulder height, palm facing the ground. And then your left hand will come under your shoulder. You'll press into it to roll to the right side. You might bend your your top knee, your left knee to help stabilize your body. You might adjust your left arm. So that left arm might be, come in. Sometimes we like to take it up and back. Some of you might like a half bind. Right? But this is to stretch the shoulders, the chest. Make sure you're not tense in your neck. Allow the head to maybe rest to the ground. Right? Allow your jaw to soften, and then try to breathe in and breathe out. And you'll notice how often you end up holding your breath and tensing your body again. And we do this in our practice, but also in life, and it's very unhealthy. So we're trying to just rewire the brain in a way through our yoga practice. Right? So last breath on this side, and then you can come back to center as you're ready. And then just take a moment for yourself. You might want stillness. It might feel good to, again, switch the hips or the feet side to side. And sometimes we just kind of lay there and just feel into the ground beneath you. But then when you're ready, you can switch sides. So it'll be your left arm out, shoulder height, palm facing the ground. Take your right hand under your right shoulder, pressing into it to roll to the left side. And then you can adjust so that you feel best, right? That top leg may or may not bend. You might adjust your right arm or not, but try to relax the head, the jaw, maybe close your eyes. Feel what it feels like as you inhale in this shape, right? And feel what it feels like with your exhale, and try to make the exhale a little longer maybe than your in-breath, right? So we don't want the exhale to be longer. We don't want the exhale to be shorter than the inhale. That'll make us anxious, right? We slow the exhale down. We help to kind of calm our nervous system down and our brains and our bodies. So last breath on this side, and then we can come back to center. And then again, a moment for yourself here. You might be still this time, or you might move, or you might take a stretch. Maybe we just want this introspection, feeling into the body, noticing all the different things there are to feel. And then we'll bring the forehead to the mat and the hands underneath your elbows. Right? And as you inhale, lift up to cobra, and then press back to your table with your exhale. And then we'll do some more rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone, and then exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, press down through your hands. Again, as you inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone. We want to open the chest, the throat, the abs. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. You want to open the back, the neck, the shoulders. And then one more of those, lengthening the front as you breathe in, and lengthening the back as you exhale. And then we'll come back to neutral spine here. Actually, let's take a child's pose. Go ahead and take a child's pose for a few breaths and make it comfortable. Sometimes when I'm working on stretching my shoulders more, I'll bring my hands closer together. Sometimes if my shoulders are tight, I'll take the hands farther apart. Right? So know that you can make little adjustments within the pose to make big adjustments in your body. Right? And then take a nice big breath in through your nose. Again, an equal or maybe a little longer breath out through the nose. Good. When you're ready, we'll come up into our tables again. Coming into alignment here. So knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. And we're going to do, ultimately we'll come into thread the needle, which is another shoulder stretch, but we're going to move with the breath a few times to kind of work the fascia within the system of the body. So right hand comes behind the back of your head. And as you breathe in, try to reach your right elbow up to the sky. And as you exhale, right elbow towards the left wrist. Try to keep the left arm straight. And then inhale, reach the right elbow up to the sky. And then exhale as you take the elbow to the opposite wrist. Do that one more time. Inhaling as you open, exhaling as you twist. This time we'll reach the elbow up to the sky with the inhale. We'll stay here as you exhale. And then reach your hand up to the sky. So inhale, yeah. And then we'll exhale and thread the right shoulder down to the ground, right side of the head down to the ground. And we call this thread the needle, right? So whoops, I should do it this way. Yeah, but we're twisting, right? Opening the shoulders. And then your left hand, it kind of like the face might be in the way, so you might move your left hand. If you want to, you can take the left hand to the top of the mat. That might open the left shoulder space more. Some of you might like to reach it up towards the sky, maybe bring it around your lower back. But these are just options. Nothing's better than the other. It's just a matter of what feels best and what you need in your body. Try to breathe wherever you are. Maybe 2 more breaths. Right, in through the nose. Try to make your exhale equal or maybe longer. And try to relax where you can. Jaw, toes, right, all the things. And then when you're ready, you can come out and you can do as you wish. You might like child's pose. You might like some cat-cow breath. Sometimes we'll just take some organic movement. Sometimes I need stillness. And those of you that didn't work out this morning, you might want some plank or some chaturangas in there. So personal, it's up to you, whatever you do in this time. But we'll meet back in our tables whenever you're ready. We want to get aligned here, and finding alignment. And then it'll be the left fingertips behind the back of the head. And as you inhale, reach the elbow up towards the sky. And then exhale the elbow towards the opposite wrist. And we'll do 2 more of those. I didn't like these when I first did them. It was like, oh, I can't move this way. But it's great for mobility and helping to kind of free up the fascial system within the body, which is sometimes restricting our mobility. So inhale, reach the elbow up, and then reach your hand up to the sky with your exhale. Take an in breath, and as you exhale, we'll thread the left shoulder down, left side of the head down for thread the needle. Right? And then you can adjust your right hand. If it doesn't feel right where it is, you can, shift it higher, lower. Right? Maybe you're tense and not breathing, so try to relax. Right? Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. A couple more times. And when I come into the body versus the mind, what do you feel as you inhale? What do you feel as you exhale? Notice that the mind always has a story for everything, but we're moving back to the body, away from the mind. So last breath in this, and then as you're ready, you can come out and do whatever feels best. And you might just keep your eyes closed, right? What is the body like here versus what the mind says that the body should do? Right? Kind of take organic movements. Maybe you need stillness. Maybe you need to move some energy and flow, or whatever honors your body is what we want here. And then when you're ready to move on, we'll meet back in our downward dogs. So again, getting aligned into your hands. Right, let's tuck the toes, lift the knees. Right, maybe a few breaths here where you take a little movement. Maybe you just practice stillness. One thing we do want to do is allow the head to drop down so you're not tensing in the neck, right? Releasing and decompressing the little vertebrae in the neck here. And then let's inhale and lift the right foot up towards the sky. We call this 3-legged dog. And then we'll bring the knee to the top of the mat with the exhale for half pigeon. So we want the right knee by right wrist. We want the foot to work towards the left wrist. Back knee comes down, and then we scooch the hips down. Right? And often we'll kind of scooch out of the stretch, shifting off to the right, but we want to try to keep the spine aligned as we lower the shoulders down. So kind of reaching the heart out over the knee. Likely you're tense and not breathing. So again, we relax the hands, relax the jaw, relax the neck, relax the shoulders, maybe the toes, right? And breathe in through your nose, breathe out through the nose. And as we slowly exhale down, this has a calming effect on the nervous system, right? If we have the inhales and exhales, this is balancing. If the inhales and exhales are equal, that'll keep you grounded and centered. If you want to chill yourself out more, make your exhale longer. Right? You can do this at night and to fall asleep, as well as in your pigeon, or as well as when you're driving and stressed or wherever, right? Make your exhale longer to help calm things down. And so maybe another breath or two in your pigeon. And then as you're ready, you can come out slowly and you can do whatever feels best to you, whatever honors you. Sometimes I like to add on a little bit of a back bend. Sometimes I need to get out and I need to move, right? Sometimes I need to stretch in some other way just to kind of help things flow. And sometimes I'll find the perfect adjustment as I move into the weird, stretch. But again, it's personal. It's also about reconnecting to self and how you feel and what honors you. So another moment to do as you wish, and then we can meet back in our downward dogs. And we recenter, reconnect here. Okay, part of our practice is we check in with specific places, relax the jaw, relax the neck, feel into the hands, right, all the things. But ultimately, we want to try to spread your attention evenly throughout the entire body, right, feeling it all together. And that's a mental practice. But let's lift the left foot to the sky with your in-breath. And then bring your left knee by your left wrist as you exhale, as you breathe out. Good, and we can work the foot out from under the body. Lower your back knee down. Try to keep your spine and hips level as you lower the hips down. And then we can lower the upper body down. And you come into not quite your fullest expression of the pose. We want to come into, say, maybe even like 80%. And then as you inhale and then exhale, long exhales, that tells the body to relax. This includes the muscles. So your muscles will begin to relax as you kind of take those long exhales, and you'll move deeper into the full expression of your pose, right? So we don't want to push too much too far. That's where we cause injuries, right? But again, we kind of approach our edge, and we might take a couple breaths and move a little bit deeper into it, right? But try to breathe in through your nose, breathe out through the nose, longer exhales, relaxing, again, toes maybe. Maybe you're holding tension in your belly. You can relax the belly, and maybe the heart space, maybe the forehead. Good. So maybe last breath or so in your pigeon. And then again, coming out slowly and taking a few moments to honor yourself. And I like to keep my eyes closed and just kind of feel it out. And it could be different on this side. And a lot of times you're like, I don't know what to do. And that's okay. That might be true for life as well, though. So we got to get back in touch with ourselves in our practice, and this helps our lives somehow too. So take maybe another breath or two more for yourself, and then we'll come back into our downward dogs as you're ready. And once you're in your downward dog, let's take a breath in and bring your feet to the top of the mat as you exhale for a standing forward fold. Let's halfway lift with the in-breath. Fold with the exhale, and again, we'll stay in this fold for a couple of breaths. So again, it might feel better to bend your knees. A lot of times we think our hamstrings are tight, but it's really our backs, right? So you might find that you're here, but if you bend your knees and allow the body to fold from your hips, you're alleviating the lower back and stretching the lower back. So keep breathing, head drops, right? Stretching maybe the shoulders and the neck. One more breath in this fold, and this time again, slowly rolling up to stand. And you might even close your eyes, but try to stretch your lower back. And stretch into the middle back. And allow the arms to hang, so you stretch into your shoulders. Keep the chin tucked so that you stretch all the way up the neck. And then just a moment at the top to just be here, to feel the goodness of being alive in these amazing bodies we have. And with your next breath in, lift your arms up to the sky. Forward fold with your exhale. Halfway lift as you inhale. Bring the hands to the mat as you exhale. Plank with your in-breath, and we'll lower all the way down to the mat again with the exhale. We're going to work with some Sphinx pose. So coming up onto your forearms. And this is to open into the front of the body. So You kind of have a pressing down of the elbows, lifting the heart up. And you might even kind of traction back on your hands as if you were pulling your hips forward. So it's this idea of lengthening and opening the front of your body. And take one more breath in here. And then as you exhale, we can lower the chest down. And again, a moment for yourself. Make yourself comfortable. And maybe just find stillness, maybe a little wiggle. But then we'll turn the left cheek to the mat and reach your right hand back for your right foot for a quad stretch. And it also stretches into the front of the right hip all the way up into your belly even. So holding the foot or the ankle. Some of you might have plenty here. Others might want to come up onto your left forearm, right? Lifting up the chest a bit. This becomes even more. Some of you might bring this into a shoulder stretch. I'm super flexy, so this would not be healthy for everybody. But the next variation is to turn the fingertips and the forward, so then you stretch your shoulder as well. But like maybe another 2 breaths, honoring your body, whichever variation feels best for you today. And then whenever you're ready, you can come out of this and take a few moments for yourself. Again, you might find stillness. I often like to swish my feet side to side. It kind of helps open into the front of the hips and the front of the body, but that might not feel great in your lower back, so you might not want to do that. And then we can switch sides when you're ready. So you'll turn your right cheek to the mat, bend your left knee, reach the left hand back for the foot or the ankle, and drawing the heel in towards the body or to the glutes. Again, you're welcome to stay here if that feels nice for you. You might come up onto your right forearm, kind of lifting up. And you might bring the hands to the toes and spin the fingers to face the front of your mat. Right? But maybe 3 more breaths in whichever variation honors your body. Right? Try to breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose, maybe longer than your inhale. Another last breath like this. And then you can come out as you're ready. And again, just a few moments to do as feels best for you. Maybe a little stillness this time. Maybe, switch of the feet. Good. And then we can bring the forehead back to the mat. Hands under your elbows. And we'll inhale, lifting up into cobra and then child's pose as you exhale. This child's pose, you might take your knees a little wider if you want to open up inner thighs and hips, or you're welcome to just take a regular child's pose. We'll take about 4 breaths here. Right? Try to, again, make your inhales nice and full. Exhales long and slow. Good. So maybe 1 more breath in your child's pose. And then we'll come up into our tables again. And let's come into seated. So we'll come to sit and getting into the hips more. Okay, so this is called Gomukasana, which is cow face pose. You have the knees stacked and you're on the outside edges of the feet. It's a pretty intense hip stretch. It might not be healthy for everybody's knees, so you're welcome to do Gomukasana with the soles of the feet together, or stretch the bottom leg out. That would be healthier for anybody with icky knees. But right leg down, left leg on top. So the knees are stacked. Yeah, right leg on the bottom, left leg on top. So we have to do both sides. So we want to, I might have said it wrong the other time. Sorry, guys. So grounding into your sit bones. You're on the outside edges of the feet, and we're working on, again, the knees becoming stacked. Likely you want to shift off to the side. So you want to lengthen up through both sides of the body. Take an in-breath, and then we'll fold forward with the exhale. And this will get a little bit deeper into the hips. Right? Likely you'll be tense and not breathing again. So try to breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through the nose, maybe relax the head down a bit more, relaxing the neck or the jaw. Right, 1 more breath here, a nice big breath in through the nose. Try to take a longer breath out through the nose. And then when you're ready, you can walk your hands back up and then ground into the sit bones, lengthen through your spine, and then just find a breath here, feeling all the energy in your body. All right, so this is a little bit tricky, but it's a fun trick I see. Is that cold at home? I can't, oh no, I thought that was, I see a kid, I couldn't get close. But from here, we're gonna move into a wide leg forward fold. So you'll take your hands off to your right, You'll press down through your feet, you'll come onto your toes, and you'll walk your hands all the way around so that you end up in a wide leg forward fold. And if it didn't quite work out, that's okay. But take a moment in your fold, allow the head to drop, maybe you sway a bit side to side, but just stretching into the hamstrings again, the back as well. So this is a big, sometimes we miss the back stretch because we're all tense in our back. So really try to relax the shoulders, drop the head. And one more breath like this. All right, let's see if I can get it right. We're gonna end up in our Gomukasana on the other side. So walk your hands over to your right. You wanna lift your heels, right? You'll pivot on the feet so that you end up with the other leg on top. Did it work? If it didn't work, you can switch it. It should be left on the bottom, right on the top. So grounding into your sit bones. Right, lift and lengthen up as you inhale, and then walk your hands forward as you exhale. Right, stretching the hips, stretching the back as well. So shoulders and head, we want to kind of drop. Right, breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. Notice how difficult it is to keep breathing. When we do this one, we're physically stressed, but also mentally and emotionally stressed. We don't breathe well, but we can tap into our breath and change how we feel. So when you're ready, you can lift your head back up nice and slowly. And then just taking a pause at the top. Again, breath in, breath out. And then we can uncross the legs. You can come out of your Gomukasana legs. And just maybe you kind of lean back and just kind of sway the knees side to side. And this stretches the hips, stretches the back. You might turn your knees one direction and your shoulders the other direction. Right? And then, yeah, opposite direction of the knees and shoulders. And then we can come to center and we'll do a seated forward fold. So just extend both legs out in front of you. And you try to sit up tall, lengthening your spine here. And then fold with the exhale. So folding all the way down. Again, relax your neck and shoulders. Allow the head to drop. Cultivate a breath in through your nose. Again, an equal or longer breath out through the nose. Couple more times here. Good. Last breath in your fold. And then whenever you're ready, you can slowly come back up. Right, and then again, a pause. Maybe you close your eyes, but feel the energy in your head, back, legs, toes. Good. Let's come in onto our backs. And we'll bring the knees to the chest and your hands to your kneecaps. And just kind of rock side to side if it feels good. You might circle your knees, but we want to massage into the lower back and the sacrum area. So you might kind of circle or rock side to side. You might scissor your knees. Just massaging into the lower back and the sacrum, the tops of the glutes. And you get a lot of fascia build up here, so this is really good for the body. But then we can come back to center as you're ready. And then just ground your feet, rest your hands at your sides, and knees bend. Take a moment, just feel the ground beneath the back of the head, underneath your shoulders, right, underneath your elbows, underneath your sacrum. Right, feel the feet grounded. Good. And then let's take the hands down by your hips. So we're going to do a couple dynamic bridge poses, again, to work the front of the body a little bit. So as you inhale, lift your hips, lift your hands, stretching into the front of your body. As you exhale, try to roll the back body down, one vertebrae at a time. That's hard. Right, but one more time, inhale, lift your hips, lift your hands, stretching the front of your body. And as you exhale, try to roll the hips and hands down, one vertebrae at a time. Good. And then just bring your knees to your chest, hands to your kneecaps. And again, a little bit of a rock side to side or a circle with your knees. But we'll come into a happy baby pose. So think of a baby that just discovered its toes. They're always on their backs trying to put their feet in their mouth. So we're going to have the feet towards the sky, knees wide out towards the sides of the body. And you might hold your feet or your ankles or your calves, but stretching the hips and the hamstrings. And if it feels okay, you can rock a bit, maybe side to side. Sometimes I'll straighten a leg or bend a leg. And again, just take a few breaths just to, again, stretch the hips, the hamstrings, as well as the back. And make sure that you're not tense in the jaw or your chest. One more breath like this. And then we can lower the feet down. We're grounding the feet, resting the arms down at the sides. And again, a moment, feeling the energy in your hips, your back, your arms, your legs, your feet, your toes, your head. Good, and then we'll work the soles of the feet together and take the knees away from each other. for Supta Baddha Konasana, opening up the inner thighs and hips. You can do whatever feels best with your arms. Sometimes I like the hands to the body. Sometimes I like the arms overhead or out to the sides. Right? But just take a moment to come into whatever feels best for you. You might close your eyes there, relax the face, the jaw, and relax into the hands, the hips, the feet, and then try to breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through the nose. Nice, slow, steady breaths. And maybe one more breath in this. And as you're ready, you can come out. Again, take a few moments to do whatever feels best. You might be still, you might find movement. Again, you might tuck in, stretch out. Good, and then we'll bring the knees to the chest again, hands to your kneecaps. And we'll work with some twists in a moment. So let's take the knees to the chest and the arms out to the sides at a T. We'll move in and out of the twist a couple times with the breath. So inhale first. Take your knees to the left as you exhale and turn your chin to the right. Come back through center with your in-breath. And then switch sides. Knees to the right, chin to the left with your exhale. Come back through center, breathing in. Again, alternating sides with the exhale. You can move at your own pace. Maybe come through center, nice breath in. And again, twisting knees and chin in the opposite direction with your exhales. So do one more round on each side. You might close your eyes, right? Staying within the body, feeling it stretch as you move. Cultivating big inhales and making sure you get all the breath out with your exhale. And then we'll come back through center. We'll breathe in and then let's take the left leg out. Extend the left leg and out on the mat and just rest your heel to the mat. Take your right hand to your right knee and just do some circles on that right side. So circling your knee out and around, right? Taking it maybe out and then over towards the opposite shoulder. So big range of motion here, getting outside your normal range. And then try to go in the opposite direction. You might close your eyes, feel all the different sensations around the hip, maybe some crunchies, maybe, different sensations. And then we can come back, knee to center, and we'll come into a twist that we stay in. So take your left hand to the outside of the right knee, take your right arm out to your side, shoulder height, and then we'll twist over to the left. And you can roll onto your left hip. Right? Your head can turn either direction. And you might relax into your hands, your shoulders, your jaw, relax your face, your toes, and try to breathe in and out through the nose. Just maybe another time or two more here, but really breathe in deep, feel the body stretch, right? Exhale, maybe a little slower than your in-breath. Good, as you're ready, you can come out of your twist and you can do as you wish. Now you might find stillness this time. You might find a little bit of movement in the hip again. You might again stretch in a way that honors your body. You might need to strengthen or like to strengthen, right? And that's all welcome. But when you're ready, you can bring knees to chest again, maybe a little rock side to side or scissor the knees, but massage into the sacrum and the back again. And this is really, really great for the body. And then we can come back to center and stretch your right leg out, resting the heel on the mat. And your left hand stays on the left leg and you'll just guide it in a few circles, big circles. You might close your eyes. Then we want to get outside our normal range of motion, just kind of opening the hips a bit. And then try to circle in the opposite direction. I like your hoverboard skills. You're circling in the opposite direction too, I see. Then come back to center. There's a little girl on a hoverboard in one of us. So right hand to the left knee, left arm out to your side. You're going to take a nice big twist. Inhale and then exhale as you take the knee across the body. Kind of roll onto your right hip. Relax your neck. Maybe the chin falls in either direction. Relax your hands, maybe the toes. And breathe. Maybe 2 more breaths and feel your ribs should expand. Maybe the belly expands as you breathe in. And then exhaling longer breaths out if you're able to. And as you're ready, you can come out of your twist and then just take a few moments to do as feels best. Right? Maybe stillness, maybe movement. Good. And then we can bring the knees to the chest. hands to the kneecaps, and we'll do what we call Appanasana. So as you inhale, you just straighten your arms. This is not core work. As you exhale, we bend the elbows, bring the knees back. And it's really gentle. So as you inhale, the knees straighten, the arms move away just as much as your arms straighten. And then exhale as you come back nice and slowly. You do that good. Last time. Right, filling up with your in-breath, expand the lungs. And as you exhale, super slow, bring the legs back. Good. And then we'll take the feet to the ground and just kind of gently swish the knees side to side. And you might take your feet a little wide. Okay? And this can kind of stretch into the outside of the body. Okay? Just again, working the hips and the back of it. And then we'll bring the knees to center. And we'll come into a half happy baby pose. So bring your right knee towards your armpit, foot towards the sky. Good. And then your left leg might stay as it is, or you might prefer to stretch that left leg out along the mat. Good. And then we'll take 2 more breaths. It might feel nice to leave the knee bent deeply, but sometimes we work on stretching the leg out. So again, you choose just 1 more breath as you are. And then you can ground your right foot. And then we'll bend the left knee so that both feet are grounded if they're not already. And again, the feet might go a little bit wide, but gently kind of swish the knees side to side. And you can take the knees, far towards the ground if it feels good, or maybe it's just a gentle sway back and forth. And then we'll come back, knees to center. Left knee comes out towards your shoulder, foot towards the sky. You might hold the foot or the ankle or whatever feels best. And then your right side might stay as it is, or you might adjust that. But maybe 2 or 3 breaths, and you might, sometimes I'll rock a bit or just bend or straighten the leg. Sometimes I stretch the leg out, right? But you choose maybe 1 more breath as you are. And then you can bring the left foot to ground and then the right foot to ground. And then 1 more time, knees kind of sway side to side. And then coming back to center, and then knees to the chest, massaging the sacrum 1 more time, right? And sometimes I'll circle 1 knee out or the other leg out as I kind of, get a little bit more mobile. And then we'll come into our dead bugs pose. Just to finish, we'll take the feet and the hands towards the sky. And again, we don't want this to be strenuous in the core, so the knees can bend a lot or a little. Relax your wrists, allow the shoulder blades to rest into the ground. Relax the face. And this is our dead bugs pose. It's really great to reverse the blood flow, help stimulate lymphatic flow, and help to restore the body. And then you're welcome to stay here. We're going to make our way into Shavasana for a few moments. You're welcome to add in anything else that you would honor your body, but I will go through the Shavasana cues as you're ready. I'll go through the Shavasana cues and you can go there as you're ready. But Shavasana is where we have the legs extended out along the mat, a little wider than hip distance. Toes roll outwards for a little external rotation of the legs. Arms to the sides, a little bit of space between the arms and the ribs. And we want an external rotation of the arms. We want to, most importantly, be comfortable. So you might close your eyes and just check in. Something doesn't feel right, you can adjust. You might bend your knees, you might bring your hands to your body or make an adjustment, but ultimately we want to be comfortable. I do sit up so that I maintain some awareness of time, but the rest of you are to relax completely. And that concludes you, little daughter or little girl, whoever you are. I see you. This is time. Go lay down and be still, so you can't distract your mom while she's resting. This is the most important part of our practice. So no hoverboards near your mama. And maybe you come into stillness yourself, but close your eyes and begin to just feel around in your body. Feel if there's any tension in your neck or your jaw, your shoulders. And maybe your hands can relax. Maybe the soles of your feet can relax. We hold a lot of contraction in our throats, right? We're not speaking our truth sometimes. So we have contraction in our throats. So you might feel a relaxing there. We hold a lot of contraction around our heart space. This is protection, right? And it's healthy in some ways, but right, sometimes we're overprotected here. We can just feel a bit of a softening or an opening into the heart space. Right? We hold a lot of contraction in our lower core, right? So feel like deep in behind your navel or below the navel, deep into the pelvis. And maybe you can feel like an energetic relaxing in this area. And because we relax these areas, we free up energy for the body to now heal and repair and restore itself, because that's what it does. It does it on its own. But sometimes we're stopping that flow of energy by burning it with our thoughts or with this contraction in our body. So for now, we rest physically, right, but also mentally. And this is tricky. You'll find your attention wandering back into the mind, and the mind working, and again, burning that energy, that vital energy that we need. And it can be very unhealthy in some ways. So our practice now is to redirect our attention back down into the body. Right? Feel this energy you've cultivated, this energy. Feel the breath as it moves in and out. We don't change our breath anymore. We don't try to slow it down, but we can feel. Right? The body breathes itself. We can feel the body expand and the body contract. Right? And we can come into maybe feeling the heart beating. And again, these subtle energies that exist within our bodies, but we often don't notice because our attention is with the mind. And for now, we want to relax the mind by just resting within our bodies. And knowing that as we do this, right, this allows the mind to rest. And so we can actually think more clearly. But also this reconnects us to our intuition, this deep knowing. It reconnects us to ourselves as well. And so just taking this time to rest, knowing that I will guide you back, and you'll be better for yourself and those around you. So just another moment where you are, noticing how you feel, noticing how easy or difficult it was for you to rest. Knowing that this resting is important, right? Not only for yourself, but also for those around you. You can begin to bring movements back into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes and your hands and your feet and your arms and your legs. You can take your time, but as you're ready, you can bend your knees and make your way to lie on either side in the fetal position for a couple breaths. Whenever you feel ready, you can come back up to seated. We finished our practice by bringing our hands to our hearts, and we say namaste, which means my soul honors your soul. With the light, the good in me honors the light and the good that's in each of you. We're all born with it, and we take time to reconnect with that in ourselves and in each other, those that are doing the practice as well. And it's our belief that the work that we do on ourselves does benefit those around us. So I thank each of you for your practices and for joining me this morning. Namaste. Yay. Hi guys, yay. Oh, sorry Dana, I couldn't remember your daughter's name, but I wanted to make sure she wasn't rolling over you in hoverboard, and she listened. Good. Good to see you all. So follow me, find me. If you guys want a copy of this recording to do at home in between the times we meet, I can email it to you. And I think we're going to try to do yoga in person on the 20th. So I hope to see you all in person and maybe before then. So, but yay, thanks for joining and happy Saturday. I was taking a picture. I forgot to do that. There's a good one. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Let's blow out the